It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. How are the family festivities up there in the Twin Cities? We doing all right?
So good. The Dozers got here last night, so got all their kids here. We played some mahjong, me and Brian and Renee and Olivia last night.
You did not.
Yeah, little late night maj sesh.
Wait a second. You didn't tell me you played.
I mean, my wife and all her friends play, and so I've been roped into a few games. I don't do it all the time. I know how to play.
Well, we're going to have to play together.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
I just won twice on Sunday.
To be honest with you, I don't love it. I don't love what it means for all of us. They're playing. We'll get into that later. Let's do the show.
Let's do it. We'll start off with a tip of the cap, and usually this part is reserved for like 2/3 of the way through the show, at least a baseball game that you will attend to. But when one of your favorites of all time grabs the mic, you got to pay homage.
Tonight, see is for cookies and cookies. All right, let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Okay, so that's Cookie Monster at Wrigley doing the 7th inning stretch. Do you dig it, or do you get freaked out when you see those characters like outside of your screen?
I dig it, and I'm going to make a bold statement here. I don't even know if it's bold, but that's the biggest celebrity that's ever sang, "Take me out to the ball game."
Wow.
I think more people know Cookie Monster than anybody else that's ever sang. Universally, if you said, "Who's that?" more people would know who it was than anybody else that's ever sang "Take me out to the ball game" at a Cubs game.
You know what? I think that's great. I think we almost have to put this clip out and ask.
Isn't it true, though?
I think you might be onto something. Okay, well, I think Isla knows who that was, right?
Do you know who the Cookie Monster is?
No.
You don't?
What? Oh, yeah.
What color is he?
Blue.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Isla. Thank you.
Okay, get out of here.
No. That's my favorite.
I do think that's true, though. I thought about that when you sent over these questions. Like, dude, that's seriously, more people know that guy than anybody else.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably right. I will admit, it kind of freaks me out when I see him out there a little bit. Kind of ruins a little bit of the whole illusion.
How many generations has Sesame Street spanned? I mean, 3,
6?
4, 6?
Oh, generations. Sorry. I thought you said decades. Yeah, yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yum, 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 yum.
I knew you had one. I
do that in an Elmo.
You and Jeff Pass and Elmo freaks.
It's true. We would have dueling Elmos. Because of that, I guess I'll read the first question. Am I allowed to do this? I don't know.
Packing the Park, where we look at players and storylines that are getting fans into the stadium.
It's brought to you by SeatGeek. And so we will start in Philadelphia, which had a couple of fresh faces on the team after Monday's trade deadline, including one that paid instant dividends in the batter's box.
Hit on the ground and
yes!
past the glove of Chaparro down the right field line. Turner will score. Harper going to third.
Wow.
And arrives to second with a stand-up double.
Yeah.
He's halfway to the cycle. What are these last few days been like? Not knowing where you were going to go.
I mean, the few days I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep thinking it, and then I say, where am I go? And then, but thanks God, I'm going to sleep tonight.
You deserve a little bit of shut-eye, Luis Arraez. I always dig him, man. He is, I mean, how well do you know him?
Pretty well. I mean, they're gonna love his personality in Philly, in the clubhouse, and just everybody in the stands as well. So, yeah, from his Twins days, absolutely.
All right, so the big question is, he's one of the great stick men in this sport in terms of being able to control the batter's box and control counts and have great at-bats and all that sort of thing. Is that enough to kind of offset what has ailed Philadelphia, obviously at times this year, but even in recent Octobers?
So I think, we've been talking about what does Luis Arraez do well? Well, he doesn't strike out. He puts the ball in play and he hits for a high average. And can you win with like 9 of those guys? Like probably not. Like you need an offense that can do multiple things. The Phillies didn't have that. The Phillies were I guess with the right term for them would be like a boom or bust offense where like they can be scorching hot and the guys at the top of the lineup can carry them and they can hit homers. They're also going to strike out a ton. It's what this Phillies team does. So, those types of offenses, when you're talking about boom or bust, they're going to do just that. There's going to be times where they get offensively cold and there's going to be some streaks where they're not playing good baseball. What Luis Arraez does, I think, for the Phillies is makes them more of a consistent offense. Like, I'm going to get on base. I might drive some people in. I'm going to move a runner. I'm going to do all these things. He has a ton of like positive impact offensively, not just batting average, just moving the line. And I think when you have a guy like that, it tends to create a little bit more offensive consistency. And if the Phillies get that, then I think they have a much better chance to win the rest of the season and into October. So I think that's what he brings. Like, energy is great. Clearly, he's going to have that new team and in a playoff race. So I think the energy is a part of it. That might come and go throughout the season. But I just think the way he's modeled his offensive game really was what the Phillies needed to get going.
Yeah, we've always said that he could be a great player depending on what is around him. And I think this is the perfect lineup to drop him into. You mentioned his strikeout rate. It's less than 7% for his career, as opposed to the Phillies this season, which strike out almost right around 26% of the time. I mean, they are bottom quarter of the league in terms of strikeout percentage and number of strikeouts as well. Here's the thing. When they've gotten October the last couple of years, they have looked lost at the plate. They've really looked lost. And so we think that Arraez is going to help, but he hasn't performed well in October. Now, it's not monumental numbers, but it's not a small sample size either. He's played 17 games. He's had 70 plate appearances, and it's a below 600 OPS, and his batting average is low 200s, and his on-base is right around 250. So he has not performed well in October, so he's going to have to raise his game. I don't think it's fair to just say, oh, well, we got Luis Arraez and everything is solved, because he hasn't exactly done his job.
That's still too small of a sample size, and it's year to year for me as far as postseason goes. I don't think there's like any rollover effect. Like, oh, it's the postseason. No. He's had bad numbers. He's going to be bad. I think it's a complete wash every single time you get into the postseason, and a lot of it. Hey, how are you feeling going into it? And also, like, it just takes. He could have a phenomenal postseason. The chances of him having a phenomenal postseason are probably better than him not.
Except that he hasn't.
Well, regression to the mean. I think he can, because he has a large track record of hitting. That to me would say he is going to perform this year.
Well, regardless, I do think that it was a really, really good move by Dave Dombrowski. I thought if you were to have picked a perfect offensive piece for this team, I know a lot of people wanted a right-handed stick, but I don't think there were guys out there that could have made a monumental difference the way that perhaps Luis Arraez can. You can let us know, Philly fans and other fans out there as well. And just real quickly, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this. I loved what Harper did in his return to right field for the first time since the 22 season. He came out, he took the bow just like he did on day one as a Philly. And then what frickin' happens? Not the first at bat, the first pitch of the game. There's a liner right out to right. And he's like, oh, let's go test him right away.
I mean, how often do we say that ball will find you, man? I'm curious to see how the new look defense performs. A lot of guys moving around the diamond there. I'm a Bryce Harper believer. Put him anywhere, I think he's going to have success. So,
yeah, he was removed late in the game for defensive purposes. Did you see that?
I don't love that. I understand there will be times where that makes sense. It's got to be you better have a significant lead to do that.
It's gutsy, I will tell you that. Well, what were they up? 5-0? So
I would say that's about right. 4 to 5 is about the number I would do it.
Yeah.
Unless you got Durant coming in and it's like, hey, there are certain circumstances I understand, but it is scary taking out your best bat.
Did you see what Keith Law said they should have done?
Mm-mm.
Keith Law, of course, who writes for The Athletic, and
I have beef with Keith Law, but go ahead.
I know you do. But he pulled no punches on this one. He said, if I'm the Phillies, I don't move Harper all around. I put Arraez at second. I put Stott at third. I keep Harper at first. And Alec Boehm, who can neither hit nor field at this point, go grab some pine or even worse. He continued to pile on, saying it making $10.2 million this year in the last deal made him virtually untradeable. I mean, it was just like, whoa. He came out torches.
All right, Keith, relax.
Torches. Quick reminder, use the code BASEBALL2026, 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. Go get it now. Well, Tarik Skubal's Dodgers debut, a lot of good, but not good enough.
Skubal deals. Chopped off the plate, could be trouble. Charging and scoring is Bregman. As Edman had no play and the Cubs have the lead, it's 2-1.
Oh my, what a thing of beauty that was.
It's a ton of fun to play in front of crowds like that, even if they're booing me or whatever it is. I think that's what makes the game of baseball really fun, the competition really fun, and the atmosphere is really fun. I'm sure that's not going to be the only, rowdy atmosphere on the road. I plan on pitching in front of those atmospheres for, the rest of the season, and then obviously when it comes postseason time, be ready to go. But, I mean, these fans were great, and it's a ton of fun to play in front of for sure.
He's right about that. That was a wonderful atmosphere, playoff feel to it. They were doing the Skubal chants just like they did to Freddie Peralta. What do you got?
Because Keith Law was talking so much crap. I went back and said, let me look at some of Keith Law's past performances. I went to 2021 prospect rankings, top 100. Number 1, Wander Franco. Number 2, Mackenzie Gore. Number 3, Christian Pache. Number 4, Jared Kelnick. So maybe, Keith, you go ride some pine. Thank you.
Wow, you had steam coming out of your ears. Do you need me to repeat the question?
Relax a little bit, dude. Not everyone's perfect. You're gonna, everyone slumps. Nate Pearson, number 5. Okay, so let's not act like we're always doing a great job all the time.
Keep that list handy, by the way. I might need it in just a second. Alex
Kirilloff, number 7. Love me some AK.
So, I think we both enjoyed last night's atmosphere at Wrigley. A Dodgers 5th straight loss, by the way. Cubs, new look Cubs. They got a couple of performances. Zephyr John out of the bullpen was outstanding. He just came over from the Angels. But as far as Skubal goes, if you check the betting odds, once he was traded to L.A., it made the Dodgers even more of a favorite to win it all, plus 160. The Yankees are next at plus 600. Would you ever consider taking the Dodgers against the field?
I'm going to take the field almost every single time when you keep the favorite every year. I'm probably going to take the field. I mean, this is the one year, the one team where it's like, man, like I would think twice about it. I'm still taking the field if you gave me that bet, just because that's just how baseball works. I mean, how many 3-peats have we had in this game? 2?
Well, 2 in the last 50-ish years.
Okay. So I mean, to me, I'm going to take the field no matter what. But I will say, like, if there was a year that you don't, and a team and an organization that you don't want to bet against, it's the Dodgers. I wouldn't advise any of it, to be honest with you. But I'll still say yes, the field.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever take a single team in this sport against the field. I would consider it in basketball. Mm-hmm. I would never do it in football. But I did cover golf when Tiger Woods, I was following him around the world at a time 25 years ago when he was literally winning every other golf tournament. And it did become Tiger against the field. And it is something I don't think we'll ever see again in anything. So, I mean, maybe there are some other, like I don't follow soccer I know enough about hockey to never say I'm never taking a team over the field. But, you can put out there in the comments how close you would. No, I mean, I wouldn't even think about it with the Dodgers. That's no disrespect to the Dodgers, but this sport is way too hard. They were this close to not winning their second straight one.
Yeah, and they added Tarik Skubal to that roster.
I know. I
know, yeah. I mean, again, I'm always the field guy, but also this is the one that gives me hesitation this year because I just don't think their competition is the NL. I don't think there's an AL team that stacks up against them at all. You could talk Yankees when they're completely healthy. Okay, sure. I got to see them healthy.
Hold on. I know you're not an NBA guy. We just heard the same thing about the NBA, that whoever came out of the Western Conference was going to smush the Eastern Conference, and that did not happen.
It's baseball. I get it.
Okay. Let us know where y'all sit on that one in the comments section. By the way, Dalton Rushing, partially torn UCL. That sounds like a big one to me. I mean, they're going to shut him down for a while. I can't imagine that he's going to be able to get back behind the dish at all this year. He might be available for pinch hitting duties, but when you get to October where every roster spot counts, I don't see it.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Will Smith just started baseball activities.
Right.
So Dave Roberts came out, I believe it was yesterday, and said he's 3 to 4 weeks away. The initial timeline was August 7th, and that is about to come and go. So we're talking another month without Will Smith. And, they brought in, was it Fiducia they brought in?
And Rortvedt they brought in.
They probably would love to have some depth. I mean, Rushing was their kind of backup plan, and now this news comes out. So it's interesting. They have enough offense to not care about the catching position, just handle the staff and challenge correctly, and we'll get by. Our offense is good enough to do it.
With all this being said, where we're talking about how great the Dodgers are and signs of a three-peat, and do we take them or do we take the field? They're not even the best team in baseball. That one continues to reside in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Last night, Jackson Chourio, one of several Brewers that went deep in a win over the Pittsburgh Pirates. So they're the first to 70 wins. It's the fastest that franchise has ever gotten to that mark. And this came just hours after news started trickling out about what the Brewers may have offered in a Tarik Skubal trade. Adam McCalvey, who covers the Brewers for MLB.com, was the first to report it, that two top 100 prospects, which was headlined by infielder Luis Pena, who's actually in the top 20. And then there was a third hitter that was offered just outside the top 100. Tigers apparently wanted a pitcher. Logan Henderson is the only name that people could come up with the Brewers. Now, they could not attach his name definitively or any of these actual names definitively. So they said, we know that it's not Mate, who is the top prospect in baseball. We know it's not Lara because they just extended him. So they gave a kind of a grouping of people. And then, of course, based on my rant that I had during our trade deadline Talking Baseball special, people came at me again last night on Twitter, which is fine. So this from Pitchers and Pitchers, who he totally laid out what was in McCalvey's article, and it said, Chris, did you see what the Brewers offered? Pipe down a bit. I ask you as a friend and a coworker, do I need to apologize?
I don't know if you need to apologize, but what you did say, like the Dodgers were the only team to offer and anyone could.
No. That's not what I said at all.
What did you say?
What I said is, go get him, whatever it takes. I did not say that the Brewers didn't offer.
You did offer a conspiracy that the Tigers only talked to the Dodgers.
That's not what I said. What I said is that's impossible to believe. I reported it that people think that's what happened, that Scott Harris only picked up the phone and dealt with the Dodgers. I said that's what I didn't say I believe that. There's no way in the world.
Well, you pushed that narrative, which was just insane to do.
No. We asked the question about it. I didn't believe it. That's not what I said.
So I don't know. What did you say that you need to apologize for?
So what I said
they didn't do a good enough job with the package they offered, essentially.
That's what I said. And so people have now said, well, look at the package. It's significantly better than the Dodgers. First and foremost, yes, it looks like it is, but we have to remember one thing. The numbers in front of prospects' names, those are arbitrary numbers. When you get to an NFL trade, for example, and you say, we're offering that team the 11th pick overall, but the other team is offering the 29th pick. We know the team that offered them the 11th pick is offering them something that's better because it's higher. That's not arbitrary. That's real. Whereas prospect numbers, can you read off those Keith Law ones? Do you still have those handy from 2021?
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
Do you want to?
We don't need to read any more. We just need to, if you want to go check out top 100 prospect rankings and just type in a year after that, you'll have a laugh. It's fun. It's a crapshoot, dude.
So that's my point, and we have tried to stress this throughout the trade deadline. Just because somebody is ranked in the top 100 does not mean they're going to have a better career than somebody who's outside the top 100. The Tigers were looking for pitchers. The fact that the Brewers, if Scott Harris said, we will only do the deal if you throw in Logan Henderson, then you're right. Then I will 100% apologize. You can't nail that down. But there's also another way to get it done. It's called a 3-team trade. They don't happen a lot, particularly at the trade deadline. In fact, the last one I can find of any major significance was the Manny Ramirez one, where he went from Boston to L.A., and then Jason Bay went from Pittsburgh to Boston, and then Brandon Moss and a bunch of prospects went to Pittsburgh. That's like so it's hard to do. But if the Tigers wanted a pitcher, and if Matt Arnold could say, hey, if I find a third team, can we do this? I would have tried it. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. So am I going to apologize for my feeling? No. Because at the same time, what the Brewers have done and what the Rays have done hasn't worked to give them a World Series. It makes sense. It's the safe play. And, oh, by the way, for all the people that are saying, well, that's not even the problem, their offense is the problem, he didn't fix the offense either. So that's where
Whose offense is the problem?
People said, well, the Brewers' pitching wasn't the problem against the Dodgers last year. They scored 4 runs.
I mean, their offense has
been great this year.
Really good. I still think
they
need power. These rankings are insane, by the way.
Mm-hmm. They are.
You want to, hey, if you're 23 through 30, bangers. Corbin Carroll, 23. Julio Rodriguez, 24. Sixto Sanchez, little miss there. Jazz Chisholm, little miss, 26. Bobby Witt Jr., 27. Hunter Green, 28. So that's where you wanted to be in these rankings.
Yeah, I mean, but they, like I said, they're all over the place because guys move up and move down throughout the year.
Your point is, don't look at the Athletics prospect rankings, MLB.com's prospect rankings. Teams don't look at that.
They don't.
They
don't look at it. So you can't judge what is a better offer. We might hey, listen, 5 years down the road, those players that the Brewers did or didn't offer might be better than the ones the Tigers got. We don't know. But to definitively say, well, look at this, they offered it better. Now, I will take back the fact that they didn't try. I shouldn't have said didn't try. I should have said didn't try hard enough to get it done. That's what I would say. So I will take back, and I apologize for saying that they didn't try. I was caught up, and I will make this last point, and then we will move on, and we'll consider the topic dead. The reason I picked on the Brewers is because I truly believe they're good enough to win. And to me, that doesn't mean Brewers hate. It's quite the opposite. It's a hell of a lot of respect and love that I have for them because my team is not a Tarik Skubal short of winning the World Series. I think the Brewers are. That's impressive. That doesn't mean, oh, you hate. You don't understand. Bullshit. I do understand. I know exactly what it means to run a small market team. I also know what it means to have trust in Matt Arnold and his front office to the point where if he trades not his best prospect, maybe not even his second best prospect, possibly, but maybe not, that he has the ability to then find more great prospects down the road and have a shot at it. Logan Henderson, different topic, but we can't narrow that one down definitively. Thank you. I appreciate everybody listening, and I hope we clear that up. But if you want to continue to call me 4-letter words on social media and it makes you feel better, go for it. I guess I asked for it being in this business. Today's episode, it is sponsored by Monarch. Everybody's relationship with money changes as they get older. I know mine has, believe me. Now, most of us weren't really taught how to manage it and kind of figured it out along the way, which is a challenge. but having the right tools and a clear picture actually makes a real difference. Thankfully, there's Monarch, a personal finance app that connects all your accounts, investments, saving goals, and spending in one dashboard, making personal finance tracking so simple. The AI weekly recap feature identifies spending spikes, net worth shifts, upcoming expenses before they sneak up on you, tap you on the shoulder and say, boo, those expenses are here. Meanwhile, other apps only show you a list of what you've already spent your money on. And what's the point if you've already spent it? Monarch is built differently, helps you see what's coming and whether you're actually on track. So write your own money story with Monarch. Use the code today at monarch.com to get your first year of Monarch Core half off at just $50. That is 50% off on your first year at monarch.com with the code today. All right. So Skubal and Casey Mize, they've moved on from Detroit. But have you noticed who has been the hottest pitcher on Detroit's staff this season?
Swing and a miss on a changeup.
Oh, that's big-time stuff right there from Troy Melton.
Wave and a miss on the changeup, and Troy is amped.
Yep, second straight shutout pitched by the Tigers. They're just 4.5 out in the division, 1.5 out in the wild card. Do you think this team, led by a bunch of kids, will make the playoffs?
We just did our power rankings, Jake and I, and towards the end, in the 20s, I believe I had the Tigers, but we both had one team. We said, okay, but this team can go and get hot and have a chance here. And really, you can say that about a lot of American League teams because 500 gets you in the playoffs right now. Yeah, I mean, they can just because the AL has been so, Melton's been great. Framber's what? Why are you stopping me already?
I didn't ask.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Can they? Of course they can. You could say that about 12 American League teams right now. There's only about 3 that you can count out. So, yeah, they can. Will they? I'm trying to get there. You talk Cater, my guy, first on the scene with that one. He's been fantastic. Melton has been. I mean, we're talking about this guy's one of the better pitchers in the big leagues over the last 2 years. Part of that chaos last year, now starting looking great. Framber is still going to give you good starts. They have enough, and the lineup largely hasn't changed all year. So, they bring up Max Clark. That's great. I don't know. They can. Will they? No, they won't.
Okay. Thank you. Didn't mean to interrupt you on that one.
Yeah.
They have scored 8+ runs in 6 straight games for the 3rd time ever. Sarah Langs pointed that out last night. 1922, 1927, 2026. It's a pretty impressive run. We know about McGonigal and how good he is. Max Clark, even though I think he struck out 3 times last night, is off to a very nice start. Dylan Dingler has been sensational.
Yep.
I think if that team was in first place right now, he would be getting AL MVP consideration. I don't think he'd win it over Jordan, but I think he'd be considered based on handling a pitching staff, being as good as he is on ABS challenges, and the offensive year he has put together. He has just been sensational. He has been awesome. They just got Gleyber Torres back. I think he hit a home run last night. That's a big deal. I was surprised that somebody didn't. Maybe they tried to pry him loose. I thought he could have been a difference maker in a market which was starved for right-handed hitting. I thought for sure he would have been on the move. But because they held on to him.
It's interesting because you look at this team, the lineup is getting longer. Riley Green's having a fantastic year. Colt Keith holding his own. And you mentioned the other guys. They have a good, I would say 1 through 5, 1 through 6 in that lineup. I wonder what our outlook would be if they didn't trade Mize. They only traded Scoobs, kept Mize in that rotation. Then you're looking at a deeper rotation in a weak AL. I think that would change. That would have changed my mind a lot. Now we're kind of hoping for this, hey guys, I know we traded away, 2 of our top pitchers, back-to-back Cy Young winner, but we can do it instead of like, hey guys, we had to trade Scoobs, but we still kept everybody else. I think there's a little bit of different vibe there internally, but I mean, these guys are going to go out and try to win, obviously. Then this roster has not given up on the season whatsoever, despite what like talking heads like you and I say. Like, these guys are going to go out and try to win every single game. They are right in the thick of it. So there's definitely a chance that this happens, that they go on one of these magical runs. Hey, the Tigers have done that. We've seen it from them. That was with Skubal at the helm, though. So things are a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, they can do it. And in my mind, looking forward, I don't know. I'll say no. Don't sleep on my guy Eduardo Valencia, by the way. Love that. Joey Meneses #2. That's what I call him.
I love it. Yeah, a great story for them. I will say this. They will hold a wild card at some point soon.
Okay.
I worry a little bit about their bullpen. They've had a few blow-ups here, and obviously they didn't add anything because they weren't in position to do it. So I think that's the thing that might keep them out. Now, it's going to be interesting. They're replacing Skubal and Mize with Jackson Jobe, who's coming off of the arm injury, and Drew Anderson, who's been with them and has primarily pitched out of the bullpen and has been a good strikeout guy, but he's also gotten hit around a little bit. So I think it'll be very interesting. I don't think they'll hang on to the wild card spot, but I think that they are going to be back holding one of those 6 playoff spots at some point. I think it'll be fascinating. I'm wondering where Tigers fans' heads are right now. So leave it for us in the comments. Where are you with the Skubal and Mize deals? I think a lot of people thought it was a necessary Band-Aid ripoff at this point. But what's your confidence level in all these kids being able to maybe rally the troops and surprise us all and make it to October? We'll see. This episode of Baseball Today is sponsored by Lids. Sure, we're all looking forward to October baseball, but the NFL season is inching closer. In fact, I get to call my first preseason game 10 days from now. I cannot wait. And guess what? Lids has got you covered with all the latest gear to rep your team. With exclusive designs from 47 and New Era, Lids is the best place to level up your favorite NFL team's merch before kickoff. Classic headwear designs, graphic tees you won't find anywhere else. Totally new concepts that take being an NFL fan to the next level. So whether you're watching on Thursdays, Sundays, Mondays, or every day in between, like Wednesday when the season starts this year, Lids has it all. And regardless of how your favorite team fares on the field this season, you'll at least look good off of it. You'll get 15% off your purchase when you text TODAY, that is TODAY, to 29017. I'll repeat that, 29017. Text TODAY, message and data rates and exclusions do apply. All right. Adley Rutschman in Boston in his new gear did not appear in the game last night. Probably just wanted to give him one more day just to get settled. So that's fine. But in the Battle of the Sox, Boston's bats left Chicago seeing red.
Swing and a drive. That one sucked high and deep. It's going to go into the monster seats for a grand slam.
All right, so Boston 24-3 since July 3rd. But what's the more amazing story? Chicago's remarkable season-to-season turnaround or Boston's last 6 weeks?
Oh, it's so good. It's a good question, Chris. You know I hate this one. It's very difficult for me. I think I'm going to go Boston. They were dead in the water. We were talking so much smack about this team. But we did say like I feel like they should be way better than they are. There were some outs at the bottom of that order. There were some times where the offense was looking really, really bad. The Roman Anthony thing, we thought that played a huge part in why they weren't performing. But all the while, like, I don't know, I guess Contreras, he believed, and those guys they brought over from the Cardinals, I keep saying they've been a huge reason that this team continued to fight. Manager change happens. And then really it's been like Rafael has been great. Caleb Durbin has turned things around. We know that they can throw the ball, which they've been able to do, but the offense has gotten red hot. And now you don't look at that lineup and say, oh, there's some outs there at the bottom of that lineup. Like, guys are coming through with timely hitting. They have a complete roster. I have them ranked very highly in my power rankings. And just, a mere whatever it is, 6 weeks ago, we're talking about this is one of the most disappointing teams in all of baseball. They've turned it around. I love it for them. Happy for the Sox and what they've been able to do. So I think that is a great story. But 24-3 since July 3rd is crazy, Chris.
Yeah, and if you even expand it out a little bit to 29-5, it's the best 34-game run in the franchise's history. It's not like that's an expansion team. They've been around a little bit. But I have to say Chicago. I mean, the only thing we thought we would be talking about with the Chicago White Sox on August 5th was the number of players they dumped at the trade deadline. And it was quite the opposite. They added a starter, a reliever, a catcher, and who else did they get? They get an outfielder? Regardless, they added 4 players at the trade deadline, which we just did not think was possible for them. And yes, are they here at least a year early? Absolutely. But they have a chance to at least share some records. There are 2 teams that went from 100-loss seasons the previous year to 87 wins, which is the most ever in a season following a 100-loss season. The 67 Cubs went from 103 losses to 87 wins. The 89 Orioles, you remember the 88 team that lost, I think they started out 0-21, and they ended up losing 107 games. They went to 87 wins in 1989. So there's 50 games left. If the White Sox go 28-22, they can match that with 87 wins. That would be some pretty remarkable stuff. If you're thinking largest year-to-year jump, it's the 62 Phillies. They went from 47 wins in 1961 to 81 wins the next year. It's a pretty monumental leap as well. So the White Sox aren't going to reach that because they had 60 wins a year ago. I know that's a lot of numbers, particularly if you're just listening to this. Point is that we haven't seen this an awful lot. And last year, we got to see a team rebound kind of like Boston in the Cleveland Guardians. So maybe that takes a little bit of the wow away from me.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're a fantastic story. They needed to bring Luis Castillo in. Davis Martin over his last, whatever it is, 12 starts as an ERA near 7. It's been a rough go for him, so they needed some help there. Again, both are fantastic stories. I'm in on the White Sox. I think I had it first. I said they're going to win the AL Central. I still believe they are the best. I still believe they're the best team in the AL Central, top to bottom. But again, this is baseball. Maybe one of our teams comes and sneaks it out, Chris. Every time the Twins get to 500, they go back down like 2 games. Come on,
dude, don't get me started. Don't get me started on what's happening with my team.
Do you think they're the best team in the Central still?
The White Sox?
Yeah.
I think they're probably the team to beat. I think that offense can carry whatever deficiencies they have pitching-wise.
And then the freaking Tigers, are they going to get – they're only a half game back of my Twins. Oh, my gosh, dude. If the Tigers finish ahead of my Twins, I'm going to be so disappointed with the way things – like the way we have so much optimism with the Twins. I'm like, this team's so good. And then they're sitting a half game against the Tigers who just sold Skubal and Mize.
The good news is that everything counts, and we are so invested for every day of the rest of the season. That is a good thing. That is like, as much as I bitch and moan about the Guardians not spending money and just trying to up their game a little bit, and a lot of my angst, everybody always feels like, well, why do you hate your team? I don't hate my team. I hate it that our owner keeps taking away, because I think that Antonetti and Chernoff, who are the executives in charge, have really done a pretty remarkable job with this team. And I love the team. It's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to be realistic about who you are. That doesn't mean you hate your team. It just means you're realistic. There are all sorts of different fans that put together the fan rainbow. One other thing about Adley Rutschman. Did you see how he found out he got traded?
Sorry, the stretch. No, I did not. Show me.
So he was going, I can tell you, I can't show you.
Okay.
He was going to the movies with Mountcastle, Gunnar Henderson, and Colton Cowser, I believe. They were going to go see Spider-Man, and he got the call. Do you think they went and continued into the movie theater or left?
Without him?
Well, yeah.
They went to the movie.
They did not.
No.
You would have gone in?
I don't know.
You would have left
I guess
the soldier
I wouldn't
behind?
have. No, if my friend's leaving me, no, I would have left the movie. I thought you were trying to trick me there.
No. Wouldn't you have wanted to, like, hang out with them and console them, and there were tears shed, the whole bit?
Yeah, of course.
And those are guys that all grew up together. They're all high draft picks. They all grew up together. Tough one.
I'm not a Spider-Man guy anyway, so I definitely would have left.
No?
Yeah.
Would you have left or stayed? Leave that in the comments section. Are you a crappy friend if you leave, or do you just say, "Hey, we bought the tickets. Like, I kind of wanted to see the movie anyway. I'll catch up with you in 2.5 hours."
If it was the Odyssey and you got those good tickets, I would have said, "Hey, man,
have you seen it yet or not?"
I have seen it. I didn't see it on like the big, massive screen.
Which I heard you have.
I liked it. It's intense, dude. Like you're like, it's never a dull moment in that movie.
I heard it's amazing.
Yeah, I wouldn't go amazing.
Okay.
I mean, forget that. It's a fantastic movie. Go see it. Yeah.
All right. I think I need to go see it when I'm on the road.
I just had a problem with the accents.
Oh.
There was no accents. Like, everyone just talked like the regular selves, which to me, I don't know. Like, I want them to sound like they're from the old world, and they didn't.
So Damon apparently got in ridiculous shape for this thing. He couldn't do a pull-up at all when he started training for the movie.
He looks great. He looks great.
Turned into a physical freak. So I guess he is going to be the guy I'm going to try and emulate. I can't do any pull-ups right now.
The only, like I said, like the dialogue, like the writing sounded, it's written 3,000 years ago. So like the dialogue is that of like old world kind of like language, like some of the phrasing, but they don't have accents.
Chaim Bloom of the St. Louis Cardinals, I believe, majored in the classics. I forget where he went. If he went to Yale, he's an Ivy Leaguer. I forget which school he went to. Dan, maybe you can look that up. But I'm almost positive he majored in the classics.
Okay.
So he probably is all over this. He's probably watching it for the 8th time while dealing Dustin May and JoJo Romero to the Brewers.
They changed a few things around that I was looking forward to seeing some scenes, especially the Cyclops scene. That was a little change. I won't give it away, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll look for it. Today's episode of Baseball Today is sponsored by Amazon. This back-to-school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. Look, you want to give your kids a great start to the year. We get it. But back to school has a way of absolutely thrashing your budget. The supply list keeps growing. Your kids keep growing. That means the clothes stop fitting, and somehow there's always one more thing to buy on the teacher's list. Well, Amazon helps you handle all of it without losing your mind or your wallet. I'm kind of fortunate, right? My kids are both in their 20s. The days of marching up and down the aisles and getting pencils and notebooks and pens and calculators and this and that and the other thing. But Plouffe is smack dab in the middle of this thing. Teddy's got his list. Isla's got her list. And then they go, my God, are you sure you don't need something else? So why in the world would you want to spend all day shopping, going to 16 different stores? It's enough to drive you nuts. That's where Amazon lends a helping hand for back to school. Everything you need in one single place. Talking backpacks, lunchboxes, notebooks, headphones, clothes, great prices, huge selection. It shows up at your door before you know it, so you could keep on with your amazing day and not travel all over the city. So remember, with Amazon's low back-to-school prices, just spend less on your kids, because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them. All right. Let's focus on some kids who were just in school recently. The Lombards. Yeah, we talked about it, that George Lombard Jr. was making his MLB debut for the New York Yankees at shortstop at 21 years old. And we said, hey, listen, just let him ease into this thing. Roll it.
The 0-2. Hit in the air. Deep left field. Torres back. George Lombard Jr. has entered the yard and left it.
Great call by Ryan Rucco, who's in for Michael Kay. What an astonishing moment for this kid, huh?
Yeah, so cool. Pretty swing right there, too. Got a little hanger, stayed through it. We're number 96, like that. Okay. Yeah, that was great. I mean, that's as good as it gets. And, making your debut at home, Homer. I mean, there's nothing better. Dad in attendance going nuts. So cool.
And for people that don't know, his dad has been a major league coach for a long time. He sits next to A.J. Hinch, bench coach for the Detroit Tigers, who were in Seattle. And obviously they're like, dude, get out of here. Your kid's only going to make his major league debut once. But they're going to have to clear the schedule because his second son, who was just a first-round pick of the Miami Marlins, was busy making his professional debut. And what does he do? He homers in his first game ever. Now, the parents were supposed to be watching him in Jupiter, Florida. Instead, the older son got the call to the show, so the younger son's like, go to New York now. Listen to the younger son on SportsCenter talk about what happened during his game.
We called a pitcher's meeting or a mound visit right as my brother was coming up to the plate. So there's a TV in the bar, like the last TV, right on the third base line. So I got to watch his AB and his home run. I'm screaming at the third baseman like, oh, I think he just hit a home run. I think he just hit a home run. And then the TV shows my parents hugging, and I was like, oh my, you just did that.
How freaking awesome.
That's awesome. It makes me want to have another kid so Teddy has a brother. Like, how cool. How cool. Should I?
Whoa.
Get live in here right now?
I mean, what we could put it to a vote by the community.
Oh, man. That's so cool, though. What a special moment for them.
How incredible is that during a pitcher's meeting on the mound, he kind of sees out of the corner of his eye his brother that is some crazy stuff.
And he hits a home run too. Like, I don't know, man. How proud are you as a parent right there?
Are you kidding me?
What a freaking day you have.
That's incredible. I'm so happy for their entire family. The younger kid, by the way, for as young as he is, seems pretty put together. Like, he was a good storyteller. He even, during the SportsCenter, he goes, let me try and FaceTime, George Jr. And he tried, and he goes, he's already in the show. You can tell.
Yeah, he big leagued his brother already. Jeez, come on, George Jr.
Did you see the way the Rangers-Giants game ended last night? Giants fought back. Big knock by Eldridge to tie it up off of Latz in the 9th. And then Jung-Ho Lee with 2 outs and a couple of runners on. He kind of screwdrivered himself into the ground. Don't you feel bad about that? Here it is. You really?
For the Rangers, you feel really good about it.
I know, but the guy had like a massive game. I think he had 2 homers. He's had a nice bounce back year after injury plagued, and poor guy. Ugh.
Yeah, it happens. It sucks. At the end of the game like that, to lose it, that's what it makes it worse. If this is in the second inning, we're like, oh, that's just an unfortunate play. But yeah, for the Giants, I think that's does that like surmise their season?
I think it's their 9th walk-off loss. That's brutal. It's a bad way to go. Yuck. We told you earlier about the Cubbies taking care of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and it was quite a pain in the neck for Kyle Tucker, literally, as Miguel Amaya, the catcher of the Cubs, throws it back. And we've seen this. That was a pretty direct shot. Did this ever happen to you?
No, it didn't. That one looked intentional.
Well, with all the
I'm not
booing,
saying it was, but that view that we had from the ump cam, show that again.
Ouch.
No, I mean, he's trying to go above his head, but
yeah,
we've always said Kyle Tucker looks like Abraham Lincoln, and he got that top hat on right there. Boom.
Ouch. God. I'm actually shocked this doesn't happen more.
I'm shocked that it ever happens.
That it ever happens? Huh.
It shouldn't really ever happen.
Well, I get it shouldn't, but it's so close sometimes. I always feel like when the catchers, after a strikeout, throw behind the runner and throw it around the infield.
You'd be surprised, man. Like, when you get the ball in your hands, they used to put out the big nets when you're taking BP and doing ground balls. They'd have a massive net covering second base, and you'd be taking ground balls like at shortstop. And the ability to just kind of like loft it right over the net, you'd think you wouldn't be able to do it, but I don't know. We can handle the ball. We can throw it anywhere we want.
You can.
Yeah.
But I always get terrified of standing in the wrong place of the field.
Yeah.
I just do. I'm afraid of the ball. What can I say? I'm a wuss. All right. This was a fun one, as always. Enjoy the rest of the day with your family, please. They deserve that love and honor. And let us know when you or Olivia are done discussing.
Okay, I'll let you know what we decide.
Yeah, let us know, please. The community would enjoy being let in on that tale. So for our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We will see you Thursday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.